What is up, everyone? Good afternoon to each and every one of you. I will give it a few minutes. Well, I was going to say a few minutes, but I'll wait for a few people to come in and then I'll get started. I just want to speak up and say a couple of things that I feel as though is very necessary to get out to the universe. If you can hear me, please press 1. And I really don't waste no time. I don't care. I'll get started as long as the video out. If you can hear me loud and clear, please press 1. So I'll continue saying what I need to say. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Well, I guess you can hear me. Maybe it's the trolls in here. But I will get started and say that everyone that has covered this story and this saga, we have at one point or another felt like it was dark. We have thought the saga has turned so dark and so much dark energy was attached to it. Hey, Miss Danny. How you doing, beautiful? Good afternoon. But to be honest, it's not just the saga. Morally, it's the person. It's the people that has been putting content out on this saga. The saga doesn't create dark energy. People mass slip because you only can hide who you are for so long. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. I'm not going to sit up and blame this completely on the saga because if we're going to be honest, this saga definitely carries a darkness with it. And the people behind it that's trying to keep this storyline going and not trying to stop it, that's creating drama and chaos and confusion. Yes, I agree, it's darkness attached to this. However, a lot of people that have come in defense of this story, they have brought the darkness with them. So it's not the saga, it's the people that have chose to do and say the things that they say with no type of empathy. You have to have a moral card intact with who you are. That has to in line with who you are as a human being. That's your character. And if your character is flawed and you put out and you say and do the things you do, that's who you really are. There's no taking that back. There's no covering it up. There's no, this person is good at this person upset you, so I'm going to take this low blow. How low can you go? How can you speak on someone that has recently lost their father? Whether you're upset with them, the story should have been kept on him. But you bring his deceased loved one that is not even put to rest yet into your community post and sub him with the pain that he's dealing with. I felt it necessary for me to speak up, but I also felt it was accountability that needs to be taking place in this situation. And I'm not going to blame it on the saga. I'm not going to let people get off easily thinking that the saga turned them this way. No, these people were this way because they woke up this way, they went to sleep this way, and that's how they conduct themselves in their everyday life. Even though we all don't know who people truly are and what their intentions are behind the lens of the camera or their phone, we can quite clearly see from the evidence and the actions behind what they do. You only have 1 or 2 times to show me who you are. And me in my 40 years of living, I'm going to believe that. I cannot say I support positivity and pushing out a message if I'm continuing on to condone that type of foolish behavior. You have to have someone morally tell you you're wrong for you to know that that was out of line. What, are you serious? And people liking that? I don't care if it was just 5 people. Good afternoon, tit for tat. I hope you're having an amazing day, sweetheart. I'm sorry about this unexpected live. If you were busy, I completely understand. Um, People show you who they are and their intentions behind it. You have to accept people for who they are. You can't cover it up. You can't say someone was angry, someone was upset. You came at them, they go low, so they want to go lower. That's not how it works. If a person is attacking you in the heat of the moment and they say some vicious things to you, that's who they are. Believe them. She, and I hope that, never knows and understands the feeling behind the pain of her dragging someone deceased loved one. But she think it's okay to mock someone else at the time that they are suffering, that they need the most uplifting words, encouragement. You thought it was okay to wake up angry and be that way. No, you've been that way. So the saga is not what's carrying the dark energy, it's you and whatever else is tied to you. So we got to keep it like that. At the end of the day, hey, just lovely me. What's up, Amber? How's everyone doing this afternoon? I'm just giving my opinion on a couple of things, and I won't be long. I'm gonna be back later on Just Lovely Me Live. Everyone, make sure you check it out. What's up, Real Pratt? Real Talk with Pratt in the building. How you doing this afternoon? I should have silenced my freaking phone, but I'm not gonna say it's just a saga. It's the people behind the saga. Like I said, when you do things morally, your compass should be intact enough for you to understand what's going on. It shouldn't have to be people online telling you you're out of line, you're out of place. You're a mother, right? You're a wife. You shouldn't say certain things, certain boundaries you should never cross and you shouldn't go. Just as a human alone. When you cross those boundaries, there's no coming back. And when she did that, it disturbed me because I can only imagine what a person is feeling. And for people to think that that's okay and still rock with her or rock with that type of philosophy, when someone goes low, you go lower, that's not right. Good afternoon, Tamika says, how you doing? I just think at the end of the day, everyone needs to wake up and judge accordingly. See who people character is and base it off of that. A person could tell you a million things, but pay attention to what they show you. Pay attention to who they are and their traits. Don't let people fool you. If you're going to walk in your realness and you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to go against even people you once was cool with, even people in your family, people at your jobs, sometimes even your spouse. You have to stand up and you have to own it. Do I think this whole story and everything has brought the worst out of a lot of people? Absolutely. Because a lot of people for so long were faking it and it finally came out. If you're a bad person, that's who you truly are. And you can't hide it. And you only can hide it for so long. And some people can't wake up spiritually warfare is real. There are really humans walking around with no ooh. And I'm gonna say something on that. Having the gift of discernment And I hate to say that word because a lot of people say that. I really mean that. I can feel the shift of energy. I can feel exactly what a person is doing in that moment. And I allow the plan to go out because you're not playing me, you're playing yourself. Because if I allow you to come back into my space, family, anybody, and you do it again, that's on you. Spiritual warfare is definitely real, sis, and people are walking around here soulless. And when you do things like that, and you don't call a person out about it, and you condone that type of behavior, then that goes to show you what type of heart you have. There's no kiki haha after that. There's no let's chop it up after that. You don't speak on certain things morally because you're a human being. You're a decent one. There's no going around that, period. And when people make excuses for foolish behavior like that, it shows your character and who you really are. Some stuff you can't rock with. And as a leader, you have to say, I'm done. I'm straight. I can't rock with that. You have to walk away and you have to stand up for what you feel is right, even at the time when everyone else feels as though it wasn't wrong. What about you morally? Hey, Media 101, what's going on? I hope you're doing okay and a little bit better, dear. Um, Josephine, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone coming in the chat. When you speaking some real stuff and you on a mission to figure out what you are and sort things out, you're not going to have a lot of people walking with you. The people that you used to walk with, you're not walking with them anymore. The people that you rocked with, you're not rocking with them anymore. Because at the end of the day, when you step into your purpose and your realness, and you decide to detach yourself away from darkness, your friends list, your family list, your social list will be lessened. But you have to stand in that. If you feel morally that something is wrong and it doesn't sit well in your spirit, why continue to entertain that? Why? If you're a bad person, you didn't just wake up and respond in a negative way. It already was in you. We give people too many passes and we overlook some of the bad things that has been done. And yes, there definitely is dark energy attached to this story. But these people been dark. They've been wicked. They've been doing this, but it's been going under the rug or their mask was on. When a person shows you who they are and their intentions, believe them. When a person can respond like that, that shows you morally, they have no morals. Their moral compass is not attached to them. They have no heart. The way people respond in the things they do, judge them according to that. Judge them based off of their actions, not just words. How did it take for D. Ham to get up there and say something? But morally, you didn't feel you was wrong after you posted that? Morally, after 5 people spoke on it and they said, sis, this wrong. They didn't even cut into you tough. You didn't think, dang, maybe they right. Let me take this down. It's still up. And I didn't want to center my point on speaking on this, but it's still up. It bothered you, but it didn't bother you enough to take it down. It didn't bother you enough to, after 1, 2, 3, 4 people told you how wrong it was. You said, oh, well, yes, I'm dark. Yes, I'm terrible. So you think it gives you an excuse because a man expresses how he feels? He didn't call you out of your name. It wasn't a bashing thing that you can say something about his deceased loved one and everybody's supposed to be okay with that. You have one too many times to show me who you are. And morally, I'm not rocking with that. We don't talk, and I'm okay with that. But anybody that shows that type of behavior and they sit back and they're okay with that, it shows me clearly that you have no empathy. Empathy is what this world is lacking. We don't have enough leaders that's standing up for what they feel is right and being able to stand on their own and say what the truth is. We don't have enough of those people out here. And unfortunately, when we do have those type of people, they're talked about, they're shunned, they go in on them. No, these are the people that are going to speak up when things are not right. And they're going to come from a non-biased standpoint, but they're going to be real about it. We don't have enough people willing to step up in that position. Those leaders are not supported. People rather support drama and chaos because it sells. But ask yourself, since you want to support that type of stuff, who are you as a person? If you think that type of stuff is okay, you're messy, you attach yourself to drama, you want to be that way, your life is messy, and you think things like that are okay, I refused at the age of 40 years old to entertain that type of mess, drama, and foolishness in any aspect of my life. Personal, professional, love interest, anything. I am on a journey finding myself, my higher purpose, and seeking who I truly am and what I have to offer. And I refuse to let any darkness attach themselves to me, drag me down, block my blessings. People don't realize this. Like she said, it's a spiritual warfare out here. And Tamika said it. At the end of the day, when you're woke and you see something that's not right, you see something that is dark, you see something that is shady, and you continue to be okay with that type of stuff. You continue to attach yourself with that type of stuff. You're just as dark as that person is. And if you're not, you're going to become what they are, wicked. And I don't know if this is, hey, Evan A. Steele, y'all bees are pathetic. Stop coming using my name, other folks' names, and doing dumb stuff. Amber, who is that? So that's someone trolling that needs to go get some holy water. You have to decide as an adult. We have one life to live. If you're going to grow as an individual and you're going to step up, you decide to have a platform. You decide to have a voice and people attach themselves to you. What are you plugging yourself into morally? What will you allow and what will you not allow? You have to have boundaries yourself. As a individual, you have to say what you will allow and what you will not allow. And you have to stand on that. You have to stand on that. And when those boundaries are crossed, even if you like this person, even if you talk to this person, even if you like their content, at the end of the day, you shouldn't support things like that. That shouldn't be supported. How can we say that the saga has turned everything dark? We blame the other side, but it's people on this side that was supporting this family. It's people on this side that has showed their intentions, said what they felt, and that's just what it is. There's no reason to entertain whether we agree, whether we talk later, whether we never talk again. That's just that. Moving forward, at the end of the day, this woman has truly showed who she was, and each one of us, hey Upper, how you doing, sweetheart? And each one of us, as leaders, as individuals, should be able to determine whether or not we think that's okay and stand up for what is right. We have to stop giving people passes. We have to stop okaying people when they do things wrong. They have to sit in that. Some people that have been leaders that have done absolutely nothing wrong, the things that they done at one point in time, it was justified, but they had to sit in it. They were crucified. They had to sit in it. So if those people had to sit in it, why are you exempt from that? What makes you any more important? It's never okay to drag someone at a time that they need to be uplifted and encouraged the most in a situation that they didn't ask to be in. And I'm grateful on behalf of what he's going through that he doesn't have to be antagonized by hundreds of people. I sat in that and I've lost so much, but I've gained a lot of knowledge and I learned a lot along the way. That's the difference between when you go through something in life and when you're self-aware of yourself, self-aware of your journey and the process and what you need to get there. You're not okay with the things that go on that is childish, the things that hold you back, the things that does not help you reach your higher purpose, the things that are draining, the messy things behind, the things that are put out. That will not get you anywhere. That will continue to keep you in your lower self. That will continue to drag you in a depressive state, toxic traits. It's never okay to do those type of things and then turn around and say, from one person, you decided to think how wrong that was. This should be a lesson to everyone that has been on this side, that has went through something at one point, that has been dragged. Never in my 40 years of living, I would have ever thought that people would go there in raw areas of places that we know are very hurtful. We have to understand it is a spiritual warfare and it's bigger than us. And if a lot of us condone that type of behavior and we turn a blind eye to it and we're okay with it, or we make up with the situation, it's not fixing anything. It's not addressing it. That person's not learning their lesson. They're not sitting in it because everyone comes along and they act like it's okay. That's not how it goes. This is their lesson to learn behind their action. Just like when you're a kid, because a lot of people have showed us childish behavior. A lot of people have not learned from early on as a kid to becoming a teenager into their adult years. Certain things you do not say and certain lines you do not cross. And sometimes the behavior that has been exhibited on this YouTube, in these YouTube streets, has been very childish. And I'm not going to blame that other side because unfortunately, the worst ridicule has been over here. It's been over here. So where do we go from here? We're not going to blame the saga. We're not going to say it's changed everything dark. No, people have been completely dark. People have been trolling, making fake pages. People have been saying hurtful things. People have been being very deceitful. And people have been having the wrong intentions. So what do you do if you're a part of that? If you feel like it's not right, or if you feel like you've done something wrong and you've been a part of something, take accountability for that. Own it. And then go forward and put out some positive content. The good will always outweigh the bad. Do you know how it has to feel to wake up every day, to maintain a dark energy, to speak on dark things, to drag people, to be depressing? It has to be a dark cloud over you. When you wake up every day and you have to be filled with chaos, with toxic things, you have to dispute those behaviors continuously. That must be a terrible place to be in. And when you allow that a part of your life, you're plugging your energy into that. Good afternoon, Rosanette. Um, Amber G with the T, and the rest of the trolls out here. It's sad and it's unfortunate that people take time, that people want to come on panels, they want to leave vicious comments, and they want to stir up things. At the end of the day, we all are only accountable for our actions as adults. But we have to make sure what we're surrounding ourselves with. And when we say we're going to do something, we have to stand firm in that. We can't say, I don't want to be a part of it, but we're still a part of it. Someone has to stand up and say, enough is enough. Someone. And if not just someone, several people. This has gotten way out of hand. To be honest, it's been out of hand. And, lucky for him, he has people that are in supportive of that. Lucky for other content creators, they have people that was in support of that. I didn't have a video made for me. I didn't have no one standing up for Ashley D. I stood up for myself. I took accountability at times when people may have thought it was a reason behind it. I took accountability in situations for my wrongdoing, and I learned from it. And that's part of my growth. That's part of my journey. I'm not perfect, and I'm not claiming to be perfect. Hello, Anomaly 22. Thank you, sis. But every one of us are here on this journey separately. But we have to decide whether or not what we feel as though we want to attach ourselves to. And if we don't want to be a part of the circus anymore, we can stop the circus and we can get off the van at any time. We have to say, when we taking accountability for something, we have to stand up in that. We have to own it. A lot of people, unfortunately, that I know of, just from YouTube, they have put themselves in certain situations that they might have not thought it would have got to this point. But unfortunately, when you say you want to be non-biased, and then it comes off biased, you put that spotlight on you. You put yourself in an uncomfortable situation because now you're saying you don't want a problem, but clearly there is a problem. You can't speak on one thing. You can't teach one thing. You can't say, I standing up for the truth, but I believe that this person was wrong. I think everything you guys are doing wrong. It's wrong. So now you're contradicting. Now all the hard work that everybody has put in, a few laughs here and there, now all of that work is being discredited because now this bully stigma is going around. When you put things out into the atmosphere and in the universe, it takes off. We have to be careful of the things we say. If you feel like that, that's okay for you to feel like that. But it's everyone's right that has their own platform to continue to do it how they choose. You feel like she was bullied, then you have that right to feel that way. But don't convince everyone else that that's what's going on when in everyone's heart who's been covering this story, they feel as though they were covering it with the good intentions. And here and there, we all said we've taken jabs based off of what they said about Latruth. No one started off when we covered this story with the intentions of roasting and saying anything malicious I know of that I've dealt with when it came to Lionya. We were trying to make valid points. We were trying to focus on what the message was and clearing this man of these accusations that we thought were false. Good afternoon, Deborah. Good afternoon to everyone coming in the chat. Please make sure you smash that like button for your girl. But the message was clear, and we made sure of that. When you're attaching yourself to things that are dark, and you're wondering why you're not elevating, you're wondering why you're vibrating low, you're wondering why all these things are happening in your life, all these negative things are slowly coming your way and attaching itself to you. That's because you attach and align yourself and your life with those things. You have to be careful as an adult what you think is okay morally and what you think is not okay, and you have to stand on that. That's part of being a leader. Sometimes you take one for the team, but accountability needs to be done when it comes to certain situations. And a lot of people have a problem doing so. A lot of people have a problem with that word. They think when they're outed for doing something wrong and they have no choice to apologize, that's called accountability. That's not accountability. That's I'm sorry. Accountability is standing up and owning even before it gets to that point. Even if you put that out right away, if you said you were sorry and you took it down before everyone said something and you continue to say, I'm evil, I'm this and that. When they said that's wrong, you said, well, I'm an evil person. You let everybody know who you truly were and what your intentions were. Just like a lot of other people on this internet, we have to allow people actions to align with their words. And if those words aren't in line with those actions, then maybe you need to start questioning people's characters and their true intentions. That's what has to go on. If you want to elevate and you want to get to the next level in your life, you have to look around and you have to take a stand for what you feel is necessary so you can get to where you need to be. Forget, I like this person. Forget this person, cool. We're grown now. We have children. It's not about that anymore. It's bigger than that. It is definitely a spiritual warfare. It is definitely people walking around here that has trauma that they have not healed from, that they have a platform. And they twist that trauma and they use it against you in the most vicious way. And the people cheer them on to do so. That's the problem. People that has not been healed, they are invited to platforms. And they say the most vicious things, and then they connect with other people that have not healed their traumas. So now they're trauma bonding. Not because they know them personally, not because this person has a good message. This person is making me laugh. But little do they know, this person is keeping you at your lower self because this person is not vibrating high. You may get online and you think it's cool to laugh at someone dragging someone all day long, talking bad on them, speaking down on them. But moral compass, what is your morals? What is your morals in line with this? If you think that's cool and you agree with that and you're subscribing to that mess every day, that goes to show you who you truly are and what level you're vibrating on. Do you think you attaching yourself to someone who drags someone repeatedly all day long? will get you to the next level you need to be in life? Is this person encouraging you to go to therapy? Is this person online telling you things that you could apply to your everyday life when it comes to healing, when it comes to making money if they're a successful person? Is this person giving you something that is meaningful? If they are, then that's great. Then you found the right person to attach yourself to. Good afternoon, Lynette Thomas. But if this person is only holding you back, and you may not realize that now, because like I said, we're all on our personal journey. Just because we meet certain people along the way, that does not necessarily mean they're meant to be there forever. A job, a spouse, a friend, even a family member. Sometimes we don't see our family members forever. But we have to make sure along that way we're learning from that lesson. Along that way, whatever we're attaching ourselves to, we're getting something out of it. It's meaningful. Good afternoon, my beautiful, lovely Miss Judy. Thank you, Amber G. Yes, hit that like button. We have to learn that there are bad people out here. And when you sit up and you sit and you allow people to talk about somebody all day long, do you think that's okay morally? Do you feel bad a little bit? Just ask yourself that question. And you can make excuses all day and say, well, they was talking about this lady. They was talking about the kids. No, morally, it's wrong. It is what it is. It's never okay to down someone else in the most vicious way that it has been done. We do not know each other in person. We do not have to like one another because clearly we're all on different sides. But at the end of the day, we have to understand right is right and wrong is wrong. And we learned that early on. And when you turn the blind eye to stuff that is in your face, that clearly tells you something is not right. We have an intuition, and it's not just there about a man. It's not just there about your relationship that you feel like, oh, it's telling me that he's cheating. It's telling me something is off. No, your intuition is your common sense. Your intuition is that side of you that's telling you inside of you that something is wrong with this situation. Something's not adding up. It's not making sense. If you choose to ignore that and turn a blind eye to those type of things, then you must understand that becomes a part of your DNA and who you are. And self-consciously, you might not be aware of it, but you're feeling yourself with those downloads. You're feeling yourself with that darkness. So when you're spazzing out and you're going off at home and you're upset about something that was minor, then you'll understand why. And I definitely want to say real quick, Miss Judy, you said tit for tat, you working overtime. I hope you not at work tit for tat. If you are, sis, you can come back. But I just wanted to say that yeah, you okay for now, boo, if you are. I'm sorry, this was a spontaneous live, but I just have to say this. I just had to speak up when I felt this door was necessary. And it wasn't just that situation that bothered me. It was the overall perspective of the stigma that is over this whole story and what everyone think is dark about it. Oh, you okay, Miss Judy? But there was a long live last night. And if you want to be woke, and you want to have a few laughs here and there, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if you continue to turn the blind eye to bullying, real bullying, turn a blind eye to people, loved ones being talked about. I've had a collage made several times. I've had one with my sister on it. I've had things being said. I had someone say, shouldn't she be grieving her sister from the other side? It's like, at the end of the day, I did not come back to YouTube taking a year break to be a part of some low vibrational stuff. And when I say low vibrational, I mean things that doesn't align with me spiritually, that doesn't align with me morally, that definitely says it's a red flag, this isn't right. And that's exactly what's been going on throughout this whole journey. And it's like, at the end of the day, we have to understand that we have one life to live. And if you're trying to become the best you, the greater version of yourself, then what are you attaching yourself to morally? What are you aligning yourself to get to the higher self of you, the higher purpose of you? You have to understand that. It's serious. It's definitely a spiritual warfare out here. I could not say that enough. And you're attaching yourself to this type of behavior and you're thinking it's okay. And now I'm speaking overall from the childish behavior. I always ask myself before I get out of line, and I'm not perfect, what will my son think? What will my 15-year-old think about his mom acting like this? He doesn't act like this. I am the mother. I am the teacher. What am I teaching him? Hey, Miss Lisa, how you doing? Good afternoon, sis. I know last night, you was gonna come up, but it was late. If you had some words you wanted to say, you're more than welcome to come up. If anybody else wanted to come up and they wanted to say something, feel free to do so. My sister here, hey, Mama Two Kings, my pretty girl Ash, what it do? How are you today? I just think this whole situation has gotten out of hand, just the overall. And I'm just irritated with, oh, Lynetta Thomas, I hope I spoke to you, sis. You're in here as well. Angie, hello, can't stay long at work. Hey, sis, I know you are. But I appreciate you stepping in. Peace and love, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Speak up and speak out. Happy Tuesday, sis. Peace and blessings. And that's what we should try to encourage everyone. Peace and blessings. The purpose of getting to your higher self. And people don't understand. We all have traumas that a lot of us put to the back of our mind. A lot of us just haven't dealt with yet. So when you hit raw areas like that, when you poke at someone else and it triggers the next person to say something, how can anyone think that's okay? Hello, Sparks. How you doing, sweetheart? I'm going to drop the chat for anyone that feels like they would like to come up and say a few words. I just think that everything has completely gone too far. And I think we all need to take a stand in our own way, whether it's the supporters, whether it's the content creators, to say we don't condone this type of behavior. We're not okay with these type of things. And I mean the overall perspective of this whole thing that has gotten way out of hand. Someone has to stand up. And if I'm going to be that person, I will proudly do so. It's not right. I think that when things occur, even in our day to day life, when you're dealing with a circle of friends, and Miranda stated this last night, you're going to outgrow those friends, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be beef. Some things that you apply to your day to day life, it just might not align with that friend that you've been friends with for years. That's okay. But when your gut is telling you, as well as your intuition, as well as your higher self, that this situation that I'm in right now, whether it's a relationship or long term friendships or whatever, even a job, that it's time for me to walk away, then you need to follow that. Yes, you need to have a plan B before you do. I don't want to encourage anyone to say, I hate this job, I'm out of here. Yes, Ashley D, walk away. What's next? No, that's not what I'm saying. Miss Judy said exactly. Everyone isn't meant to go with you towards your goals. Absolutely. When I started off, you guys, I had 3. And I was laughing at my girl, and her name is Just Lovely, Just Me. And I'm gonna make sure I post the time. We're gonna go live later. But we was laughing at my views on some of my videos, 45,000. In the very beginning, I've reached more than I have covering this story. So my intentions was to clear someone, but never go down a rabbit hole of darkness. And yes, I've met great people covering this story along the way that in line with me, that has the same beliefs that I do. But in my life and in my journey, I've also found that this world, just like it was when I was young, it's still dark and it's even more evil. So we have to decide which route we're going to go on. And we have to continue. And being a part of something all the time that is draining and negative, that will take a toll on you, your household. If you're battling with depression, that is the wrong thing for you to plug yourself into. Like Miss Judy said, everyone is not meant to go with you along the way, but the marathon must continue. I get that. It took me 39 years to get it. I'm 40, but I got it when I was 39. But I'm okay with that. I understand that. It sucks along the way when you have a heart, you have a soul inside of you, and you have a moral compass that allows you to do certain things and allows you not to do certain things. Certain boundaries you won't cross. But when you meet people and you have the utmost loyalty because that's who you are by fault, that's just who you are. And those same people don't have that loyalty towards you. Those same people don't respect you the way you respect them. And you have to walk away from that job that no longer serves that purpose, that set of friends that was your friends from childhood, and those people that you thought was a circle of support system, wherever it was, whoever you in cahoots with, and you feel like it's just not working anymore. That's when that leader inside of you have to say, okay, no beef, no problem. I can't do it anymore. And you have to stand up. Even when things are wrong and nobody is speaking up, that's when you should. Someone has to have that voice. And it's a lot of people that don't speak up, and it's not because they're not a leader. Some people are shy, or some people, it takes time to warm up to who they really are. And it takes people like us to bring that out of them. It takes people like us to speak life into them so they can align themselves with that position that they're meant to be in. And I will be that person on top of me, figuring things out for myself along the way. We have to stand up for what's right morally. We have to stand up for what we believe in, and we have to keep it that way. We can't go back and forth and say, well, this is right. Well, this is justified. This is okay. No, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. You have to take it. This world is already a dark place. A lot of people are dealing with their own personal battles silently that no one knows of. Why make it any darker? Why be a part of something that is so evil and so vicious? A lot of people say they believe in God. A lot of people say they have the God in them. But you have to ask yourself this question. Will the God in these people condone this type of behavior? Will the God in these people be okay with the things that and the behavior that these people partake in? Will the God in these people continue on this path that they on of destruction and tearing people down? Like, even after we stop, when we're trying to be positive, we have trolls. We have people that don't agree with us. I'm okay respectfully with anyone disagreeing with me. It is my own eyes where I see things differently from the way other people see it. It's okay. But if I choose to feel this way and you choose to feel that way, I will respectfully accept that. But I also will say, at the end of the day, whether or not that aligns with me for my personal growth. And that's what I'm a part of. And that's the type of behavior I'm okay with. If I'm not okay with that, then I will gracefully bow out and I will continue my journey. And that's what a lot of people have to be okay with. You have to be okay with being alone. You have to be okay with not picking up the phone when you have a problem and searching for a solution from others. You have to search for that solution within. You have to sit in the dark. Just like when I say you have to sit in it, you have to sit in the dark sometime in order for your mind to be able to process and think clearly. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people have not reached a higher purpose to this day because they don't want to sit alone. They suppress those emotions. They suppress that pain. They are stopping and blocking themselves from their purpose and what truly they are and what they can be because they don't understand that it's okay to be alone. Wolves run in packs. Humans don't have to. How can I say I want to pursue this career when it's five of us want to pursue something differently and we're attached every day? It's not going to work because we're both pursuing different dreams. You have to be able to connect with your people, but still figure out who you are. And when you figure out who you are, sometimes it's in those darkest hours you realize what you're capable of. You realize that at those darkest times when the tears are dropping and nobody is there. Nobody is there, but you there. And you call out to God and you drop to your knees. That's when you figure out who you are and how strong you are and what you're capable of in those darkest moments. Don't fight through that. Don't take that away from yourself. A lot of us all here has had those moments. And we figured out what we wanted in those moments. We figured out our strength and how strong we are. And then we go back to the old routine. We go back to the toxic behaviors. We had a chance to detach. We had a chance to figure out our strength. We had time to think about our worth. We had time to sit in it, to process it. And we went back into the routine of toxicity. You will never get to where you need to be if you can't sit alone by yourself, if you can't hear yourself think. I am going to take a moment to read the comments and I will keep going. Sparks, I appreciate it. Trina and Speak Up, Speak Out says, absolutely. A lot of people, you guys, are grown people, grown ups, and they're conducting themselves like kids, like teenagers. They don't know who they are. They haven't figured out their purpose. They're lost. We have grown people that are leaders, allegedly, that have been put in leader positions, that possibly have been called to be a leader, but they don't know it yet because they didn't sit in it. They didn't figure out who they are yet. So they become whatever the internet wants them to be. They become a part of the drama. They become a part of the drama because they don't know who they are. They're lost. We have to wake up and only take accountability for ourselves. We have to realize that there's light and there's darkness. I want to attract light. In my darkest hours, in my last moments to despair, all cried out, I prayed for strength. And I never been more stronger. I went through everything I went through in life. And I took it as a lesson. I didn't turn the blind eye to what was trying to be revealed to me. Sometimes I wanted to. Because it was easier to me. It was easier to pretend like everything was okay. That's the easy way. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Can you hear me? Say yes. This is the thing. You cannot allow yourself as an adult to be fooled. Like I always say, the word accountability. We need to own up to that and take responsibility to our part in these situations. It's a leader inside of all of us. We have to be willing to ask ourselves, to what extent will we go? And how uncomfortable are we going to be to find that person that's lost? Are we going to go back to the routine because it's comfortable, because that's what we're used to, because we don't want to feel uncomfortable? We want to blend in. Or are we going to take a stand and say, no, this not right. I want something different. Who wants to walk around with a veil over their face and turn their eyes and pretend like the world is not what it is? You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. I will not fool myself as a full-blown grown woman. I respect myself enough to understand when things are being shown and presented to me. I'm going to apply those tools in my everyday life. But I cannot become the better version of myself if I continue to turn a blind eye to things that does not align with me morally. You take a stand or you fall for everything. You have to. At one point or another, if you haven't, you have to sit alone. And you have to ask yourself, with everything going on in your life, everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, does it resonate with you? Does it align with who you are? Does it seek purpose? Is it meaningful? Is it something attached to it that you feel brings you to the greater purpose of you? Does it align with you morally? You have to ask yourself those questions, and there you have it, the answer. But you have to be okay with your phone not ringing. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with being a loner. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay from walking away from a meaningless relationship that no longer serves you any purpose, that has been keeping you at your lower self. It's a job that you worked hard on and you still have not got the position. You have to figure out what is best for you and step outside of the comfortable and be uncomfortable to get to the greater purpose of yourself. You have to find yourself. When you find yourself, and let me tell you, baby, when you find yourself, it is the best feeling ever. And unfortunately, things are revealed to you. Yes, they are revealed to you. Whether you want to say it's discernment, whether you want to say that the veil is lifted off, they're revealed to you. You see them. You don't have to question certain things. You see it because you're in tune with yourself. You're in tune with your intuition. You're in tune with who you are. You're in tune with being alone. You're okay with being different. All of us was made to be different in our own unique way. He did not make one and say they are the same. Even identical twins are different in their own unique way. Everyone has something to offer, but you have to figure out what that is. And in order to figure that out, you have to be able to be alone. A lot of people have attachment issues. A lot of people don't want to be alone because they're afraid of what they might feel, what they don't want to feel. But when you do, you find out who you truly are. And like I said earlier, how strong you are. I think throughout everything, I found my strength as well as my weaknesses. And I can admit that. My weaknesses is I try to take everything I care about with me to where I'm going on my journey. Everybody, every family member is not meant to go where you're going, just like you're not meant to go with them. You have to be okay with that. That's one of my weaknesses. I want to bring everything I care about with me, pack it up in a bag, let's go. Maybe that's not part of their journey. When we get off today, and from this point on, we should all ask ourselves, are we truly reaching our purpose? And are we attached to the things around us that will get us there? I've lost my vision along the way. I've invested time into helping be a part of something that once was great. Amazing content creators, we've cleared someone of false accusations. And I am honored to be a part of that. But now my journey must go on. So I had to do some soul searching. I went back and forth with myself as well, just like we all should. You have to ask yourself, even in life from this point on, even as a content creator with my content, I know it's not going to be a room full anymore like it once was. Because a lot of people that like to sit in the dark, that like the veil to be over their face, they run from the realness. They're not ready to hear that truth. And I'm okay with that. So I'm speaking to the people in here that's in this moment that wants to be the best version of themselves and that's willing to take a stand and move forward from this point on. I just want to say we've all exhausted ourselves out when it comes to the back and forth and everything that has taken place. Thank you, Angie, for taking a break and modding. I appreciate it, sis, so much. Enjoy your day at work. Tiffatat, you rock. Amber, you rock. Um, Rosalind, speak up, speak out. Thank you, sis. Just lovely me. Everybody in the chat. Miss Judy, I just want everyone to be the best version of themselves. And if I have to come on here and speak to 10 people, 10 people that want to be the best version of themselves, and we're on the same page when it comes to that, then I will make it my mission to do so once a week on that topic. You have to take a stand. And you have to always ask yourself, does this resonate with my spirit? Is this something that I'm a part of that feeds my soul? Is this something that moves me and uplifts me and encourages me? If that is the answer you get, if that is the answer you come up with, then you're on the right track. If it doesn't align with you morally, if you feel it, then walk away from it. It's okay to walk away from things that you have outgrown, that no longer serves its purpose for you. Like I said, everybody is not meant to go on your journey. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own dreams. You have to be okay with letting go. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is what gets people promoted. Being uncomfortable. It was what brings that leader inside of you out. What keeps your moral compass intact, because everybody is plugged into the same chaos. Everyone wants to be a part of the circus. You have to get off the bus at one point. You have to get off the bus and you have to say, thanks, everyone. See you, talk to you later. Take care. Wish you well. And keep going. No one is going to knock on your door and motivate you into being your better self. No one is going to say, hey, who are you talking to? What are you watching? No one is going to do that. You have to do it yourself. You have to put in the work. If you're not putting in the work, then you're going to continue to plug into the matrix. You're going to continue to be a part of the show. Yes, Dominique 100. And Speak Up, Speak Out said it's okay to stand alone. Absolutely. It's okay to stand alone, and everybody may not understand your message. It may not resonate with them. That's okay. As long as it aligns with you. That's all that matters. Everyone will not receive what you're saying the way others will. That's okay. It's all about you and what you choose to and choose not to be a part of. Morally, I have feelings, I have empathy, I have compassion, but I also have common sense. I also see red flags. I also have intuition. I also have discernment. I have all these things. And if I say, okay, something is clearly a red flag, I have discernment, I have everything I name, right? And I turn a blind eye. I'm turning away from my greater self. My greater self. What's the point of having all these things? What's the point of being blessed with all these gifts if we're not using them? How am I going to get to my higher self if I'm turning a blind eye on something that does not serve me any purpose, that does not have any meaning into my life? What am I doing to myself? We talk about self-love. How am I self-loving myself if I'm acting like I don't see the traits and the things that are toxic, that no longer serves me purpose? I'm harming myself more than anything. I'm being a part of the circus. And I'm speaking on an overall perspective to anyone out there that is afraid to stand alone. When you are at peace, and if you want to protect your peace, you have to detach, identify what that problem is, what brings you more chaos in your life, what causes more pain, right? People have been in relationships for years. They cry all the time. They're not happy. They're not being treated right. They're not being respected. But they don't want to walk away because it's comfortable. They don't want to walk away because they don't know what else is out there. They're afraid of the unknown. We cannot predict the future. We're only in control of now and in this moment. How will we ever be happy? How will we ever be successful if we're going to continue on the journey of allowing ourselves to be a part of something that is low vibrational, something that is beneath us, something that does not in line with us spiritually. We are just as much a part of that problem when we ignore it. I think that we've all should have learned and taken something from this story at one point or another. And if we have not, then something isn't right. Maybe you need to go sit alone and do a self-evaluation. And it's okay sometimes to do self-evaluations on yourself. And by that, I mean, check in with yourself. If you're not happy and you feel like you're on your way to a depressive state of mind, then self-evaluate yourself and the things in your life that you're plugging yourself into that no longer serves you purpose, that is meaningful, that keeps you depressed and sad all the time. Self-evaluate those things and ask yourself how much freer and lighter you will be, how much more closer you will be to whatever it is you're trying to get to if you didn't let go of that certain situation, that certain relationship, and that certain thing that's holding you back, that's hindering you. Then you have the answer. You have the answer. You have to absolutely love, learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself and allow things to happen organically, naturally. Before you love and you put so much into someone else, a relationship, a friendship, all those things, you have to learn to love yourself. You have to take care of self first before you can give that unconditional love to anyone. And when you love yourself, you're not going to want any type of harm coming your way. You love yourself enough not to be in meaningful, non, nothing that means any good to you. You're not going to have things around you that keep you at a lower vibration. I just wanted to come on here and encourage everyone. You know, people said things that have crossed the line. It's not the first time we witnessed it, and it probably won't be the last. But be a leader to not be a part of that chaos and apply that to your day-to-day life. And it's not just for YouTube. YouTube is YouTube. When we get off of here, we go back to our real lives. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing in our real lives to apply these tools so we are successful at what we're doing? And when you do that, you yourself are the true definition of a real GOAT. Okay? You, each and every one of you out there. I just wanted to say that, and I just want to encourage everyone to continue to self-love yourself, continue to sit in the dark by yourself and get to know yourself. That is the best thing you can do. And please do it before a situation happen in your life that is out of your control to where you have no choice but to self-evaluate yourself. Do it now. I beg you, don't wait till things spiral completely out of control till you have no choice but to do a self-evaluation. Do it now. Speak up and speak out. Thank you so much, sis. You've been being very positive in the comment section. I really appreciate that. Um, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for a lot of supporters that have continued to be positive. Continue to say, keep going, you're on the right track. A lot of people don't understand, but you always want to, when you're in it, to be a content creator as well as good intentions. You want to make sure those supporters that are supporting you, they're getting exactly what they supposed to out of that time that they're giving you as well. So I am grateful for those people that tune into me and they get and receive the message that I am trying to send. And they apply those tools to their day-to-day life. I will be joining each and every one of you later on. I will let you know the time that we're going to be going live on Just Lovely Me's page. But I also will be back. I don't know if I might go live later on tonight again, but I enjoyed last night live. I appreciate everyone being a part of it. Life is definitely too short. It is. And that's why I encourage everyone to do it before it gets to that point. Do it before something dramatic happens and it brings you to your knees and you have no choice but to call on your God. And sometimes some of us have to hit the rock bottom in order for us to see how low we've been, the direction we're going in. And that's okay too, because that's a part of some people's journey. You can't control others, but you can control you and how you feel and how you choose to react. But I want to say thanks to everyone. Thanks for receiving the messages, positive vibes to each and every one of you. I hope you all are having a great Tuesday. I know a lot of you are at work still. I just appreciate everyone. And I'm grateful. And I will be speaking to each and every one of you soon. Shout out to all the mods. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Angie. You guys, tit for tat. You all been holding it down. I don't know if you guys at work. Dominique, Rosalind, Speak Up, Speak Out, Trina, Sparks. A lot of you definitely been receiving the message. I appreciate it. Take care. I'm out.